Langstrom Levy, should I lock you up too?
You know that was different.
How?
Yeah, exactly. How?
So, on the surface, this looks like a superhero satire because things are very anywhere from fantastical to straight up comic bookish. Pure comic book superhero stuff to cartoonish, and you got silly heroes and villains in here, and like they got one guy who controls underground gophers and centipedes and things like that. There's all kind of magical creatures, and they do multiverse stuff and time hopping. So you're looking at this, you're thinking, oh, this is light fare like Marvel does. And if you keep watching the show, one of the great things about it is that underneath all that, it is tackling some issues about the gray areas of morality.
Sure.
And
like all the other stuff doesn't.
No, this is one of the ones that really goes in on it, because don't let the animation fool you, because unlike some of the other things that we've seen, they go to they're not afraid to go to some disturbing lengths to get their point across, and they're not doing it in ways where they're kind of glorifying gore and graphic violence like The Boys, which The Boys is great.
Yeah.
But The Boys really is straight up satire. They embrace the satire. This is somewhat of a satire and somewhat of I guess a statement on, again, what is right and wrong. What is this is a comic book thing, and in the comic books things are always good and evil. But what if they really weren't? What if we applied some of that real world gray morality to a comic book world, where not every villain should be somebody to be considered to be killed or thrown in an insane asylum or something?
Yeah. Not everybody's pure evil.
Yeah.
Not everybody's pure good.
Yeah.
Situations, it's not always black and white.
Yeah, and it's a brilliant show because of that. But as the show has gone on, man, they have gone into some real dark places. And I've been reading some of this, and it's one thing to read in a comic book; it's another to see it actually in motion. I was like, God damn, boy. So episode 6, if you've watched that, some of y'all are already, you're feeling depressed. You're feeling very disturbed about a sequence that happened in the show. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you saw the show, you know what I'm talking about. And you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what it is, if I was to say.
Okay.
But you know what? If I show you this, you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
So there was this disturbing sequence that happened because of an emotionally disturbed villain who blames Invincible for the tragic loss of his sister and his niece. It's a villain called Powerplex.
This is about the thousands of people murdered and the countless other lives destroyed. Why is above the law?
I love that. Every time he says Invincible, they bring up the title card.
I want the truth. I want justice. I want
the damn title card to stop interrupting me right now.
I know. That's really insulting when you do that. I love he's having this big meltdown and stop traffic, and there's a dude in his car just checking his watch, like, how much longer I gotta be here?
Man, he's used to this by now. They done torn this city up so many times. All these people, they're just tired. He's just waiting. Exactly. He's like, I hope I just don't die before I get out of traffic. But
can I get there today? Maybe.
So you see that part, they keep bringing up the title card and how he's going off, and it seems funny, but then, man, it goes to a real disturbing place. It bothered me in the comic, and I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn, y'all went there, man.
Yeah, well, there's so much in the comic where anybody who's read the comics, the series, and watching this show, they're like, are they going to take this to where I think they're going to go? Because there's so many moments like that within the series.
And I knew they were. They already done enough. But like, y'all going to kill 600 people on a subway train. This one little thing right here, that ain't going to be nothing for y'all. It's going to be, look, it's going to ruin my day. But shit, you crazy sons of bitches, man. Ain't going to be nothing for y'all. But, so if you saw episode 6 and thought, damn, that's pretty depressing, man. Well, I got some bad news for you. It gets worse. Episode 7 and 9, they don't just get more depressing. It's fucked up.
Oh.
All right. I mean, listen, I'm almost kind of mad at this show. It's fucked up, all right?
Okay.
Show me these damn cartoons on here making me think I'm having a good time. It started out kind of fun. So and it only lasted for about half an episode anyway. It was, they started out kind of happy-go-lucky. This teenager who's waiting for his powers to come in because he's the son of the greatest superhero ever, Omni Man. Turns out Omni Man was sent here to take over the planet, and to do that, he has to murder a bunch of people. In the comics, it really gets you because it takes a few issues before you get there.
Yes.
I was reading it because everybody told me, man, read this. And I was reading, I was like, this is cool. But man, it's a brilliant turn.
Especially at that point when he says, what about mom? And he's like, your mother, she's like a pet to me.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck.
It's the emotional toll it takes on people too. But they killed thousands upon thousands of people in horrific ways. And episode 7 and 8, well, that's a return to the good old days where they are killing thousands and thousands of people. It's a lot of death. They do 10 times more damage than any Marvel or DC movie out there. Y'all talking about Superman? Man, shame on him for tearing up the city.
Invincible, it's still going.
It's still going. Invincible does 10 times more damage than Zod and Superman, Batman, the Avengers, Hulk, anybody did. The only difference is that you get to see the piles of bodies and limbs and guts and blood that they leave behind. Men, women, children.
Yeah.
And this one, man, that it's almost a throwback to that first scene. Y'all remember that the subway scene?
Yeah.
Episode 7 and 8, especially 8, is a return to that.
Oh.
Not as high, but it's just one thing after another. It's so many mangled bodies, heroes, regular people, animals. It's so watching Invincible. The unique thing about Invincible, man, we always talk about, you know what? If superheroes really around, it wouldn't work. Superheroes suck. Because they cause so much damage, man. No matter how much you root for the good guy, Invincible makes you say, all you motherfuckers need to go.
You got to go,
All of y'all. It's always collateral damage with you guys. It's always, because if it ain't you, it's somebody after you. If you mean well, you'll always make a mistake, and your slip up is way bigger than the average person.
Right.
I might have a fender bender. You're gonna kill about 100 people at least when you mess up. So
just by getting thrown through the building, it's like, well, he threw me. I don't care. It's both of y'all. If you weren't here, he wouldn't have done that.
Because they have this whole thing with this guy Cecil, who's voiced by Walton Goggins, who I love his voice work on this, but they make you go back and forth on, is Mark right or is Cecil right? And I don't know. I can't say anything for you, but especially by the end of episode 8, like, you goddamn right, Cecil's right.
I was feeling that with episode 5.
In fact, I'll go further than Cecil. If I had it, even for the heroes that mean well, if I had a button that would kill all of them, I'd use it. It's
just one of those where you go like, well, Mark's my boy, and he's always trying to do the right thing, but Mark was throwing a bit of a tantrum.
Yeah,
and it's like, when you start to realize, like, we can't afford to have you throwing tantrums.
Yeah, no, his tantrums, that's what I'm talking about. His tantrums, it will hurt somebody.
Yeah.
I love everything that they're doing, man. But having 2 episodes back to back where they are just constantly destroying things, like it's just one city being destroyed after another.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a part where they actually say, all right, well, glad that's done. Let's start rebuilding. And the moment they put up the first building, the next day, another asshole shows up.
So it's like Godzilla -1.
Yeah. So that's kind of funny, this right here, they show you the actual consequences. And it's just, the only thing I would say is it's just exhausting watching one scene after another where, you're seeing not only just buildings being destroyed, which we've seen over and over and over again, the superhero stuff, but again, the carnage that comes after it. It's I'm glad that they went there, but that's my only complaint. It's just like, damn, it's just kind of, it's oppressive.